country, they're going up here in Alabama. County officials here today didn't put out a mask mandate, but they strongly encourage people in certain situations to wear face coverings. Do you have any plans to issue any kind of mask mandate or any other safety measures now that COVID is just continuing to surge here in Alabama?
Let's be crystal clear about this issue. In media, I want you to start reporting the facts.
Training.
The new cases in COVID are because of unvaccinated folks. Almost 100% of the new hospitalizations are with unvaccinated folks. And the deaths are certainly occurring with unvaccinated folks. These folks are choosing a horrible lifestyle of self-inflicted pain. You know, we've got to get folks to take the shot. The vaccine is the greatest weapon we have to fight COVID. There's no question about that. The data proves it. I've taken the shot back in December, both shots. And it's just the thing to do. So the unvaccinated is who we need to focus on. Y'all get them to start taking the shot. It's their job to take care of themselves and us as well. We can't do that for them. All we can do is everybody take the shot themselves. So encourage others to do likewise.
One quick question to follow up on that. What would it take for you to implement a mask mandate given?
I want folks to get vaccinated. That's the cure. That prevents everything. Why we want to mess around with just temporary stuff? We don't need to encourage people to just go halfway with curing this disease. Let's get it done, and we know what it takes to get it done. Let's get a shot in your arm. And so I've done it, and it's safe, it's effective, the data proves that it works. It doesn't cost you anything. It saves lives.
Governor, and that's...
Students who are too young to be vaccinated and are returning to school in a few weeks, are you recommending for them to wear masks in class?
That's left up to every school in the district to make that decision.
All right, we've got time for one final question.
Governor, you talk about, the vaccine saving lives, but Alabama still is last in the country when it comes to vaccination rate. Besides, this emotional plea you just gave us, what is it going to take to get people to get shots in arms?
I don't know. You tell me. Folks supposed to have common sense. But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks. It's the unvaccinated folks that are letting us down.
But as a leader of the state, don't you think it's your responsibility to try and help get this situation under control?
I've done all I know how to do. I can encourage you to do something, but I can't make you take care of yourself.
Governor, I have one question right here. One quick unrelated COVID question. You might have heard there's a city councilman in Tarrant who used the N-word.
Alright, Shalom, Mike. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakah. I'd like to give them honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching His word in our true faith and sincerity. And as you can see by the clip I played, this devil is being met with resistance. And that is causing the frustration of the devil. See, now it's going to be a point in time where persecution is going to take place. Being asked out of this society. We in the beginning stages of that, man. See, it's a line being drawn in the sand right now. Before the ultimate ultimatum come forth, which is by the way of that chip. But this is the beginning stages of it, man. And you got two different parties. The ones that got the job and the ones that don't, man. And this is going to contribute to the rage of the so-called white man. As you can see this tranny, Governor K. Ivey down here. This nigga, pretty much, you can see the frustration in his nigga voice, man. And at the end of the day, what he said, at the end of the day, you're gonna blame the one that don't have it. But it's too late now. Out of all the time, the man was able to run circles around the people for centuries, but now it has caught up with him. So, matter of fact, let's start out with this in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes 18, and It might be 19. Bear with me. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 19 and 22. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. See, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. See, so yeah, this man was able to run circles around the people for centuries. He was able to present certain things, and the masses of the people will bite on it. We all did, you know. But now we at the time where this man has put himself in a corner. We're in a time now where he's the one that's dizzy now. All this time he been running circles around the people. Now he dizzy. And you see in the frustration, you know, playing out through his different mouthpieces. You got Biden, you got these different prime ministers, governors and mayors, and you know, going warnings and you know, throwing the word mandate around and things of that such. You know, because light has been shed that the so-called white man is the devil. And everything he put forth is death. So matter of fact, let's get some real quick. Because light has been shed upon this man. This is the book of Job 5. You know, you got the conspiracy theory. That's been a trending topic as well. That phrase conspiracy theory. And we're in a time now where people actually considering, you know, these things. Now you have certain shit, you know, such as reptilians, and so you can just throw it all out the window. But we're in a time where everything is making sense. You know, you see the different the steps heading towards depopulation. You seeing the different steps heading towards the world being tagged by the way of a microchip and a plethora of other things, you know, that the scriptures really spoke on, man, that's taking place. And that was this man. One of his strengths was being in darkness, dwelling in a shroud of secrecy, keeping you in the dark. So this is Job 5 and 14. Matter of fact, yeah, I get your point. Verse 14. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. Matter of fact, Salakia, let's start at 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. See? So how is the Lord disappointing the devices of the crafty? The devices, the plots, the plans, the schemes, all the way to it. It's going to be a literal device that's going to actually take place and be mandatory throughout the planet Earth. But how is that being disappointed? By the way of the prophets coming out and speaking upon these things, thus saith the Lord, so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. Because you lure somebody in you gotta actually, you trying to get somebody in your house, you gotta actually convince them to come into your house. You know? But if somebody knows your track record and see the plots and the plans and schemes, you know, that you're trying to perform, ain't nobody gonna bite on that. You know? And that's what's going on with the so-called white man. See, ain't nobody biting on what he pushing forth. Because if that thing was real, it would sell itself, man. And that's why you seen, you know, your boy K, he kind of got frustrated when the reporter asked him, you know, what shall we do? What can you do? And it, you know, you heard the real voice of K. Ivan when he asked him, I don't know, what should, you know. But you seeing that's the frustration, that's the Lord frustrating the tokens of the liars, man. It says he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, see? And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong, see? They meet with darkness in the daytime. So this man's agenda is now being on the forefront. That's just like me knowing your play before you snap the ball. Well, that's what's taking place, man. We know the receipt. We know the formation you finna come in. And when you snap the ball, we know who you're gonna throw it to. The Lord have gave us the insight on that. The agenda of the devil. And this is going to contribute to his wrath. For the thinkers. You pretty much not worshiping the image of the beast, not bowing down to the image. Persecution is about to take place. What it is, the kill list, the FEMA kill list. See, that's reality about to set in soon, man, for a lot of people. See, this devil is really desperate. And him having his agenda being exposed, this is lighting a fire in him, man. And you just seen just an inkling of it through K.I. It says, and grope in the noonday as in the night. See why? Because this man, he don't do well in the light. He's a nocturnal animal. See, when truth comes out, that's when the liar gets shaky. That's when the liar gets uncomfortable. Ultimately, and if you telling the truth about the liar, now he want to kill you. It says, but, see, he saved the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. See, the sword, their mouth, see? Because by the way of their mouth was their laws and legislation, that's how the sword is going to come forth. This man is going to justify and bring it forth the military. Why? Because you ain't going to roll your sleeves and take it. So the Lord's going to deliver us from this devil, man. But the point is who this man? He's matter of fact, let's get some real quick. This is the book of Psalms 64. And you gotta ask yourself, man, why is this man pushing this thing so hard? Because he understands it's a agenda that has to take place. The so-called white man, his warped thinking, believes this is the way to that new world order. That's why the crown haven't left. There's a point in time you talk about swine flu, and after a while it just faded away. What was the Ebola and all that, and it just faded away. This thing is 2 years in, man. So to let you know, we're in the desperation of this devil. And he's going to scratch and claw tooth and nail to accomplish his agenda, man. Even if he gotta kill you in the name of health, he gonna do it. So this is the book of Psalm 64. And I start at 1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. See? And this is a prayer which it was meant for the day, man. Because it's going to have to take divine intervention, for us to be delivered from this man, this devil, his military. That's one of the characteristics of this devil. When Daniel seen that fourth beast, it tells you he had great iron teeth. This is Esau's blessing, which is the sword, man. And this is how he always rationalizes things out. It tells you he's going to live by it. So even if he's trying to, bring you back to health, so to speak, he got to stab you. For you to get better, for you to, not get the crown, he actually got to stab you. So that's why we got to hope and pray that Yahweh shall deliver us. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword. See? So that lets you know what they speak, They wage and warn you by the way of their rhetoric, what they put forth on the media, all and their laws and legislations, man. You got laws on the book right now where they can come in your house without a warrant. There's an actual thing called summary execution. You know, dealing with the media. You know, they will shit on the ones that don't have the jab and demonize them, you know, or make them seem like they're crazy. You just, even with a YouTube ad, you seeing they pushing it, you know. But it said they whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even build a word. See, so when you bend the bow, you aiming at someone. When you bend that bow and arrow, you know what I mean? You got to be aiming You got to be aiming somewhere. When you sing, you know, you got to aim. Matter of fact, continue on. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. See? The ones that had a testimony of Yahweh. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. See? Because this man actually going to test that theory of Psalms 105 and 15. But the point is, he doing it through his laws and legislations, his rhetoric, what he puts forth on the media. To wage warn you, because that's what it's about to come down to. You ain't finna have a guy with a lab coat on telling you to roll your sleeves up. You're gonna have military men, and you're gonna see drones and shit outside your homes and tanks. That's how they're going to convince you to take that thing. You know? And if not, they're going to throw you in a concentration camp or just kill you on the spot. Which that goes into that famous kill list, man. You know, but you see that persecution is coming, man. Just like Kiara said, he said, what she said, I will, you know, blame the unjabbed. The ones that don't worship the image of the beast. Matter of fact, and I believe, is it France or one of those countries? And you can't go into these stores. You can't go into these certain established businesses. That's them killing you. That's them rubbing you out of this system. You know, before they literally actually kill you. These are the first steps of that. You know. This is Revelation 13, and we seeing, you know, Revelation 13, you know, 11 verse on down, it's taking place, man. You know, you seeing it very clear. Oh, that's why the scripture said, measure the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, what I told you before, meaning what we gonna measure the time on what the scripture say. So Revelation 13 and 16. Is lining up right now with this timeline we in. You know, within this very system, this time, you know. So this is Revelation 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. See? And cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. See? So and this is where that line is being drawn in the sand now. Because now you got to take that step to show your allegiance to this devil, man, by rolling your sleeves up. See, you ain't got to have an American flag flying at your home to worship this image, man, of the beast, this system. You got a 5-year plan, you got a 10-year plan that involves America still being here. You doing everything you can to forward that. Even if it takes you to roll your sleeves up and get that thing, man. But if you don't do it, now you can't go into these stores. Oh, that was that nigga Fauci. And let you know the so-called white man, the devil, he said that the jab would not be a federal mandate. It's going to be a local mandate. So at the end of the day, what it is mandatory. Get it or else. You know? And for the ones that's rejecting it, It's because of the information that's coming out. You know? And this is what making this nigga Esau mad. This nigga spending so much money on combating misinformation, so-called, well, real information, the light. He's really paying so much money to block the light. And that's on all levels. You have Bill Gates coming up with some crazy shit to block the sun out. They ain't just on the physical, man. He's actually doing it spiritually by trying to block out this information. Which is a point of time, the Lord is actually going to pull back the prophets. You know? But the point is that we're in a time now where everything's about to come to a head, man. And the line is going to be drawn in the sand. This is the book of Isaiah 10 and 21. No, verse 20, it's like it. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day, see? What is that day? That's talking about this period of time right here. This time. Because you got to see, you know, the scripture says, come out of her. That's a process because we literally going to actually be plucked up out of America. But it starts mentally, you know, by not following these different philosophies. You know, but it's gonna be a next step you're gonna have to take to be removed from this place, and this is it right here, man. This is that next step to be from removing yourself from this place, not taking that thing, man, not taking that chip. You know, and ultimately we want to literally be plucked up out of this place. So it says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. See, we're not leaning on the so-called way. We're not trusting in this, man. Yeah, you had to go to work and pay bills. That's part of captivity. You know, but those extra steps you taking to be here, we ain't doing that, man. We're not standing in line and rolling our sleeves up to get it. You know? It's that next step of coming out of her. It says, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. See? We stand upon Yahweh Shema Shai in truth, man. This word. This is what's causing us to remove from this place, man. From the devil himself, you know. Because of the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's why the devil gonna come, you know, tell you he's gonna come down with great wrath for the ones who keep the commands of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, man. This information, you know, that we have is what causing the devil to rage, man. So when he says you blame Anjel, is really saying you blaming the ones that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Because yeah, you're going to have certain people that just regular old American that don't, you know, that understand that these elites, these higher ups, even just regular old, even like Joe Sixpack, understand that these higher ups are devils. You know, so they ain't gonna bite on it as well. But who this man really gonna come after? We just read in Psalm 64, he's gonna shoot in secret at the perfect. Matter of fact, let's get another one. Psalms 11, real quick, and verse 2. For lo, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string. See? It's so you bend a bow, you making ready your arrow, meaning what? You already got things lined up. We already in your crosshairs. You know, this man he got laws and legislation on the books. Years, over a century ago, he can just pull it out. You know, the state versus Johnson. And that case can justify them, you know, doing all types of bullshit or whatever, man. But it tells they make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privily shoot at the upright and hard. See? This is who he's really going to come after. You know, the why you got the FEMA kill list, the red, yellow, and the blue list, and also the black list as well. You know, but that red list, one of those one which the red list tell you they're gonna just off them off top. One of those that was in that category was outspoken ministers, man, that speak against this system. And who's doing it properly and knowing and you know with authority? Or is a decree from Yahweh Shema Shah, the Lord decreed to overthrow this place. And we bring in precepts, which that's the decree, the commandments. I'm telling you, America gonna be destroyed because, you know, and you get a scripture to back up, man. So that's who this man really wanna get. You know? So matter of fact, let's just wrap it up with this. Because what the scripture say, things run aforetime, run for our learning. So let's get this real quick. This is the book of Daniel 3. I'm gonna jump around in this. So this is Daniel 3, and I start at 3. It said, then the princes, the governors, and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. See, so you have within this beast system a conglomerate of nations that's in on this agenda, man. Always, you know, they with, you know, the people getting jabbed. They with the depopulation agenda and chipping everyone. And, you know, that's why you got China. That's why over there in China you got Moabites wearing 3-piece suits, and they got the chip over there already going. You know, as well as other things that's taking place, but they all till they stood before the image. So they committed fornication. You know, it says, then and Herod cried aloud, which is the media in this modern time, to you it is commanded. See, it's going to be a decree, ultimately, to take that MOTB. See, the jail is just a prelude of, you know, that's the yellow list, blue list, or red list. You trying to find out, this devil trying to find out, you know, how he count, you know, he's counting his cattle, pretty much, which is the yellow list, the yellow bellies, as Quan say. You know, because they with it. They, you know, they, only thing mama want to do is get you know, have a good job, so-called, and trick off on the weekend. They love America. You know, as long as they got a TV and they got the Allen 72, they all right. With Grubhub, you know, on deck. But the blue list, the red list, you know, the black list, that's where the resistance comes, man. You know? So it says, then Herod cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, see, which shall come upon all the world, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. And whoso fall not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. See? And this once again is taking place, which that affliction, you know, that fire, because now, if you don't take that jab, you can't go to the store and eat. You can't get you nothing to eat. You can't get no water. You know, the very necessities for life, this man is compromising that because you won't roll your sleeves up. You know, Salakia. And ultimately, you're gonna be faced with a guillotine at the end of the day. Cause if you don't bow down to the image, you ain't with this society. He's just gonna ultimately kill you. But the beginning that he's doing it slowly by, no, you can't go into this store. You can't go into this store. It's gonna build up to you can't have a job now. How you gonna pay your bills without that chip? You know, how can you do anything in this system without that chip, man? You know? It says, alright, so matter of fact, let's jump down I started at 8. It says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. See, that's what's going to once again out of all the people. You accuse the Jews. And he said all people, languages and tongues, but they pointed out the Jews. This is once again going to take place, man. As you see, that nigga Ivan said, blame the unjailed. He really saying he's accusing the Jews because we the ones that really push forward on not trusting this man. Yeah, you have certain truthers, as they like you know they call them, and they might tell you some good information, but at the end of the day, motherfucker tell you to subscribe to them for a discount on Domino's, some crazy shit. They still keeping you here. They just letting you know who the devil is. But we telling you who the devil is and why he's the devil, his agenda, who's really pulling the strings, you know. But we have been on telling you to not trust this man, not to believe the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, not to trust and be acclimated in this system. You know, through the spirit and power, how by Shemel, starting with the apostles and elders on down. We you know, it tells you prophesy against Mount Seir. You know, so that's why I just read they're gonna accuse the Jews. This once again gonna take place. You know, that's pretty much that's pretty much what I want to get. But the point is what persecution is gonna come, man. Matter of fact, let's read the results of trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Cause we just quoted Romans the 15th chapter. Cause it says matter of fact, let's get it real quick. Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. See, so those really going to it, these different stories, so-called, really they were actual events that took place on the earth. Though that was actually prophecy. Those scenarios was really prophecy that was going to play out in this modern time. You know, things that certain events that took place dealing with Elisha and Elijah. We reading about the 3 holy children. Those scenarios was gonna actually play out on here in this time right here, man. It was just set up to, matter of fact, it says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. See, so meaning those same situations they went through and, you know, enacted. We actually gonna go through it as well, but we read the latter end of them. So that's what's gonna comfort us, because they didn't bow down to the image, and we understand. We just read that the results of not bowing down to the image. But let's read the latter end of this. This is Daniel 3 and verse I started at 12. It said, Then there are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. See, so you not worshiping the image. You not bowing down to this man, his system. You not biting on what he puts forth. This going to contribute to his rage. Because this nigga is a hell of a liar. He got a cold mouthpiece on him. Esau Edom. But if you overcome that, this nigga going to kill you now. You know? It says, then they brought these men before the king. And it tells we're going to be brought before governors. And that's actually going to take place, man. You know, Yahushua was you know, he was brought before Pilate. So you don't think you're going to be in an interrogation rooms with people with power and say so? You might be in a room with Bill Gates or, you know what I mean? But you're going to be, it's going to be, you know, people that's in power, these elites, that's going to actually confront you. But what the scripture said, they're going to, it's going to be for a testimony against them, man. You're going to cuss them out. Matter of fact, continue on. It says, Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do you not serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now, if ye be ready, at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, see, so it says, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast into the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hand? See? So Nebuchadnezzar pretty much gave them an ultimatum. You know, bow down to the image or die. And he threw in who is that power that shall deliver you? Oh, we know that's Yahweh Hashem outside, man. See, they ain't just run for none, because it's going to take divine intervention. This deliverance is going to take it's going to have to take divine intervention, man. It says, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. See, so meaning what at the end of the day, just like you at your job and you got to talk to your boss a certain way, but it gets to the point when that line is drawn in the sand, then you got to let them hit. You got to let them have it. You know, whenever that line is drawn in the sand, you gotta let them have it, man. So when it come down to worshiping other gods, well, that's the first commandment, man. That's the first thing you're supposed to do, is worship other gods. So that's why they, you know, it said, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. See, so they said, the Lord, let it be known that, you know, the Lord, Yahweh Shema can deliver us, man. You know, but if he don't, let it be known, we're not going to serve you, man. We'd rather die than be here in America, man. We'd rather die to see another damn football game, or see another letter added on the alphabet people group, you know, and see all these abominable things that take place. We'd rather die to experience the Babylonian life, man. This crazy, you know what I mean? You know, for this to continue, it's another man coming out. You want to deal with that shit again, man? And that's just scratching the surface. Cause we really don't know the hell. That's why this Esau Edom gonna receive double. You know. But let it be known, we will not serve thy gods. We're not gonna worship this image. It said, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury. See? And we seen just the clip. When you go back and watch that clip he kind of went off on old dude, man, on the reporter, man. He asked the sincere question, what can you do to convince people? And he just went crazy, man. And you see Esau doing everything, you know, in his power to convince Jake really to take it. You know, you got rappers and shit rapping about the jab. You got certain celebrities speaking on it. You know? And it's not going his way. That's gonna contribute to the rage that frustrates the tokens of the liars. It says, and the form of his visage was changed, that image, that draconian laws. See, it's gonna be the point of time, so-called white man gonna show you he's the devil, man. Matter of fact, let's get something real quick. Ecclesiastes 14, Sirach 14, verse 7. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. See? Because if he presents anything as good or profitable unto you, or beneficial, it's a sense of plan behind it. Even him coming in the name of health, this is the same guy that passed a law to, you know, give the LGBTQ rights and to protect them. This is the same guy that, made pork a delicacy, as well as a plethora of other abominable things that contributes to death. And he's coming to you in the name of health. He's saying he got something. He's gonna stab you with something. It's a clear form liquid. It's a clear liquid. He's gonna stab you with it and you're gonna feel better. Can't trust a nigga like that, man. But if he do it good, he do it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. See? So at the end of the day, his intentions will be made known, whether you know it or not. So-called white man gonna show himself at the end of the day. But because this information that's out, which is the testimony of Yahushua, this doctrine, the teachings of the Lord, is ruining this man's plans. So he got to take that next step. Bring forth the military. It says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it won't be heated. See? So that's why for that red list, see, that's going to be a special unit sent out for the red list. For the prophets of the Lord, for the ones that have the testimony of Yahushua. You ain't going to just have no regular old law enforcement coming after the ones that have the testimony of Yahushua. You know, there's going to be a special task force to come after you, man. That's why I said it's going to be 7 times more. See? You know? So let's jump down. Let's jump down to verse 23, let's get to the point. Wrap it up. It said, and these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished and rose up in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Most High. See? So Yahushua delivered them out of that situation, man. How much more in this time? See, that was a scenario that was that played out and written and recorded for us to consider it today. Because somebody actually going to go through this situation. It might not be a furnace that you got to face, but it's going to be some form of affliction that's going to be a life and death situation, and it's going to be how shot is going to get you out of it, man. You know? But we got to hope and believe that the Lord gonna do it. That's why I said for Lord Yahushua did in the miracle. He asked you, do you believe? It's gonna be according to our faith that these things that is going to take place. Us being delivered from that. But why we been in that situation? Because of not trusting in this man, not bowing down to the image. That's the reason why they was in the furnace, because they didn't bow down to the image, man. So the reason why the truth is after you, the reason why you probably got in the concentration camp, because you didn't bow down to the image. You didn't trust the so-called white man in this system. You didn't take that extra step for this nigga, man. You didn't take the jab. You didn't roll your sleeves up to take that. You didn't stick your hand out to take that. So this is going to contribute to the wrath of the devil. But at the end of the day, our Lord Yahushua going to lift up a standard against him, man. So yeah, I just hope that we edify. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakha Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say shalom to the elect that's teaching the word in all true faith and sincerity. DTA, Abad Babal. Soon, very soon,